Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I have finally taken some time to sit down, well not sit down, walk around and film an exchange studio dorm tour for you guys. I've been getting a few requests for this video after you guys saw my exchange residence tour, and so I thought I would take some time and film one for you guys so you can see exactly what an exchange studio is like. The nano suites here at Exchange have gained a lot of popularity because one, they are the most affordable places to live on campus, and they're also really nice and compact, and they have everything you need but in a smaller space. But within Exchange as a whole, there are also regular studios, so I thought I would show you just what it's like to live in a studio here at Exchange and give you a little tour of mine and just, you know, take a look around. With that all being said, let's just jump right on into today's UBC Exchange Studio Dorm Tour. That was a mouthful, but let's go. Ah yes, the classic dorm tour welcome. Come on in. We're gonna start with the less exciting part of this, being my mishmash corner. I have my good old broom here, a recycling bin, and then a mystery box from Costco. I've been meaning to recycle it, but given that I'm moving out in like a month, I thought I would keep it. I will say, given how small this area is, the closet is really well sized. So just in the closet space, there's room probably for about 10 to 12 coats. I think I have about 10 in here right now. And I personally found that the storage up top was great. I would strongly encourage getting a shoe rack because honestly, it makes the space just look so much more organized and clean. And when you live in a small space, organization is key. The very next thing I'm going to show you in my tiny dorm is the bathroom. So the bathroom as well is also pretty small, but honestly, it has everything that you need to, you know, stay clean and hygienic, I guess. The one thing that drives me a little crazy about this bathroom is how small the counter is, and then also the fact that there is only a cupboard. I personally find it a little frustrating to only be able to store things down there, and there's not a lot of like levels, so everything's just sitting on the bottom, which makes it a little inconvenient. That aside, it is a pretty functional space. You've got your mirror, you've got your sink, you've got your little cupboard, you've got the toilet, and then behind the door we've also got the shower. You've got everything you need in here. It's bright, it's clean, can be clean, depends on if you keep it that way. Relative amount of storage, it could be better though. Okay, so that's the bathroom, and now we are going to move into the little kitchen. And I love this space so much because one, I love to cook, two, I love food. I joke and I say that I live, eat, breathe, sleep, dream food, study food as well. This is literally my life. But anyways, to start with the kitchen, we have a good old fridge. There's a fair amount of room in here. It has a few drawers, a few shelves, you know, good size. That's all I have to say there. Up top, I keep my vitamins and just some of the supplements that I take, as well as my all-time favorite protein bars. These are basically just like Rice Krispies. They are delicious. Moving on from here, this kind of brings us to the main space of the kitchen. This would be the equivalent of your pantry. This is where I keep like all of my dried foods, as well as my plates and my cups and my canned goods. I will say, if you are short, you might have a few issues with these cupboards just because they are pretty high up. When I moved in, I had to get my dad to adjust all of them down because I could not reach the top shelf. So I would say if you're below, I don't know, 5'2". Sorry, Manya. So I would say if you're below like 5'2", you might need a step stool to actually reach up top just because the shelves are pretty high. But overall, good amount of space, no complaints there. Everything in this studio is a little bit condensed simply because it is a studio and they're working with limited space. So the drawers themselves, as much as there's a fair amount of space in them, they're actually quite narrow. So as you can see, I had a janky slice job on this IKEA cutlery tray because it didn't fit, so I had to literally chop off a section of it with scissors. So I would say if you're looking for any drawer inserts, make sure that you're trying to find some that are less than 10 inches wide. So in the top drawer, I keep all of my cutlery, and then in the second one down, my cooking utensils. Down below, this is like my mishmash crap. Parchment paper, Ziploc bag, silicone baking mat drawer. This one I think is a lot of fun. This is where I keep like my cutting boards. I keep my little magic bullet in here, as well as a tiny food processor. Also, my favorite purchase of first year, a mini waffle maker. I think I ordered this off Amazon for like 15 or 20 bucks. It was incredible. So that is pretty much where I keep all of my cooking, kitchen related appliances. This is probably one of my favorite cupboards of all because this is my, oh no, this is my treat cupboard. This is where I keep all of my goodies because then not only are they a little bit out of reach, but they're also out of sight. And my motto with junk food is out of sight, out of mind, and it seems to work quite well, except during final season. So anyways, here we have a small dishwasher, and this thing is my saving grace. I hate washing dishes by hand, so this guy is perfect. The dishwasher is really efficient. It gets the job done. I mean, it definitely could be a little bit better, but overall it's fine for a university student. And then here, obviously we have the stove, we've got the oven. So one thing about the oven is that it's actually quite small inside. This was something that I figured out after I got here and I had brought a baking sheet from home, but you actually need one that's probably only about 16 to 18 inches wide, just because the inside of the oven is a lot smaller. And then down below is where I keep all of my pots and my pans, as well as my baking mitts. Above the stove, I have kind of all of like your cooking necessities, which would be like baking things up top, my oils, some of my grains, some of my spices, all that good stuff that you would need while cooking. When I first moved in, this nightstand here was actually beside my bed and under my desk. And I did not like it there because one, it took away like space, but two, I also felt that the end of my kitchen was kind of incomplete in a sense. I didn't like seeing the side of the stove, so I just moved this over here, and it's quite convenient because this is where I keep all of like my Tupperware. And then down below, I also think I have more Tupperware, mason jars, and then I've also got like some mixing bowls and extra lids in there just in case. So moving on from the kitchen, this kind of takes us into the bedroom, I guess is what it would be. So the very first thing I'm going to show you guys is the closet. So the closets in the studios are actually a really good size. They've got tons of storage on this top shelf here that kind of spans up pretty high. And then down below as well, there's also quite a bit of space. And then of course you've got your hanging rack. So then here we have the desk. Pretty simple, pretty basic. It doesn't have any drawers beneath it, so you can't put anything under it. Up top, I keep my lovely diffuser. I love this thing so much. And then I have my speaker, of course, a fake plant because I cannot keep real plants alive. But yeah, that's kind of just the desk space. Nothing too exciting there. So then next we have my lovely bed, which honestly is my favorite thing in the entirety of this studio. This is so comfortable and it's a really good size. It is a double XL, so it's extra long, not extra wide, but compared to the other suites in Exchange and most other residences actually, a double XL is a really good size, and surprisingly, it is really comfortable. Most student housing beds are not. I remember back in first year, I was literally sleeping on springs, so I had to go out and get my own like foamy topper for the bed just so it was actually comfortable to sleep on. And then the other thing that's really great about the beds is that beneath is a whole bunch of storage. As you can see, I did not decorate much. My room is kind of empty, but this is the one thing that I really wanted to make sure I had was pictures of my family and my friends from trips and adventures over the past couple of years. So really quickly, I just want to show you guys some of the photos that I have up on my wall because they are so close to my heart. They're some of my favorite things. And honestly, at least for me, I find photos are one of the best ways to really make a place feel like it's your home because it just brings all the elements of your life into one space. So anyways, the very first photo, my family. This is from a trip that we went on last summer. We went caving for the first time together. So we were all dressed up in like these really wonky cave suits, wearing ridiculous helmets and lights. And the boots, it was so intense, but it was so much fun. And then my dog, my little doggo. He's our COVID puppy, so he is now a new member of our family. Very cute.
Is he COVID safe?
Absolutely.
What's his social bubble?
He has no dog friends.
That's kind of sad.
I know, it is a little sad, but he's a rescue and he doesn't know how to behave himself around other dogs yet, so. And then this is from a trip that I went on with my friends last summer before COVID got really bad. We went up to Whistler to what is a train wreck. So it was really fun. We got to kind of like check out all of these broken down trains and...
A literal train wreck?
A literal train wreck.
Not just you?
Excuse me. I'd like to think that I am on track. Maybe, I don't know, I've derailed a few times. And then this photo here is from a trip up to Garibaldi. Now, Vancouver is just an incredible place when it comes to outdoor adventure and hiking and camping and skiing. All outdoor sports, really. We've got some fantastic hikes out here, and Garibaldi is just one of the many. It is spectacular. If you ever get a chance to go, you absolutely have to. But anyways, my photos, yay! My next favorite thing about this space is the window. The window is so big, and I'm fortunate enough to be on the west side of the building, so I get a lot of daylight. And if I'm lucky enough, I actually get to see a little bit of the sunset as well, which is really, really nice. In some other residences, the windows are quite small, and you don't get that much daylight depending on which way you face, so I feel really lucky to be not only in a beautiful room, but also in a room that has a big window and gets a lot of sunlight. The least exciting part of my room next to my mishmash corner would be this bookshelf, because one, it has no aesthetic at all. I literally just pushed things on here and just said, okay, that'll do. Maybe the top shelf is kind of cute. I don't know. What do you think, Monya?
Adorable.
Perfect. I have my little piggy bank, which is literally a pig. I think that's kind of fun. I've got my mic, a fake plant, and then a real plant, which I haven't killed yet, and I'm so excited about that. So on the shelf, I just keep all of the things that I don't really have anywhere else for. So I've got my jewelry, tissue, because it's school and I get stressed out, and it's final season now. I also just keep all of my books here that I never read, a journal that I haven't used, a ball of yarn that I also haven't used. The other thing that I'm really quickly going to mention is that in the exchange studios, there are actually bike hooks, which is what you see on this like a gray patterned wall here. So if you want to keep your bike in your room, you can. If you don't want to keep your bike in your room, there is bike storage down by like the main office. So you can keep your bike in there, and it is secured, it's locked, nobody can get in there unless they have a key. If you want to keep your bike in your room and you don't mind, there is space for you to do so, and it'll be up on the wall out of your way and not crowding the floor. I also just need to say a good old thank you to my lovely friend Manya. Wow. What happened there?
I was trying to, you know, be like...
Yes, yes. But anyways, thank you so much for helping me film today's video. I would not have been able to do it without her.
And if you want a little clip of showing what a real person who's 5'1" looks like with these shelves.
I think that's a good idea. Okay, here we go. Really quickly, before we completely sign off, we're just gonna do a little bit of a height comparison here. For reference, I'm 5'8", Manya is...
5'9", 5'1".
5'9".
Yeah.
So we're just gonna kind of give you a bit of a taste of how our height differences really affect accessibility in the studio. Yeah. So let's start in the kitchen. Perfect. All right, first test. Shells?
This is me. I'm 5'1". I literally can't reach. Okay, I can reach this stuff.
She's on her tippy toes.
I can't reach this stuff. I cannot even dream of that stuff.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work too well.
Maddy, reach.
Alright.
Tiptoes. Okay, I can reach this. That's about it.
Yeah, so
Yes.
being 5'9" helps. Yes. Definitely.
Yes.
5'1", maybe not as
Exchange
much.
is not for short people.
Maybe not.
With the step stool, in my house, I could just about reach the second shelf. With the step stool.
Emphasis on with the step stool, you guys. Test number 2, microwave. And then for reference, getting onto the bed for somebody who is 5'1" is a little extra effort.
A little different.
A little different.
Most people would like, I have to.
She gotta yeet herself onto the bed. For 5'9" people, you can easily sit down on the bed and have no issues with that. But for good old 5'1" friends, it's a different story.
Yes, it is. Oh, I was just
No, I wanted you in this.
But you have to tell your followers and subscribers that this is not my normal cheek. It's not.
You can tell them.
That's not my normal cheek. But I just got my wisdom teeth extracted.
You did. And you did so good. Anyways, that pretty much does it for today's video. And I just wanted to make sure that Manya got the credit that she deserves, because if it weren't for her, this video would not have been a reality. So thank you so much for helping me with that. So that pretty much does it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of my UBC Exchange Studio. This has been probably one of my favorite places to live. To be fair, I've only lived in 2 different residences at UBC, one being Place Vanier and now Exchange. Overall, both of of my experiences have been incredible, and UBC Exchange is just such a beautiful residence area. Between the 4-bedroom units, the nano studios, the studios themselves, as well as the townhomes, there's tons of options when it comes to housing here. One thing to note about UBC Exchange residence is that it is year-round housing, so you can't just live here for a winter term. I was fortunate enough to be able to sublet this space from somebody, so I was only here for term 2, but otherwise you would have to apply for year-round housing, which works out in your favor because you get first dibs on housing each year once you get a contract. That pretty much does it for my studio. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video and have a bit of a sense of what exchange is like, and between this video and my UBC Exchange video as a whole, I hope this gives you a clearer picture of what it's like to live at UBC Exchange. That is pretty much it for me today, you guys. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, heartaches, any of that good stuff, feel free to drop a comment down below or send me an email and I will be happy to chat with you guys. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you next time.